Today I am boxing up 2 sewing machines to mail back to customers. I thought this would be a really good chance for me to show you how I like to box up a sewing machine for shipping across the country or across continents. Let's jump in and see how it's done. So first, let's talk about the supplies that you need. This looks like a lot of stuff. I'll explain to you why I use each one of these and why they're really essential in packing your sewing machine safely. The first thing I'm going to talk about are egg cartons. Now, these egg cartons are actually what are used in restaurants. So think of a local restaurant in your town that cooks a lot of eggs for breakfast for people. I actually call around, and certain restaurants, their kitchens will save these for me, and I just pick them up every once in a while. I'm going to show you how to use these, but these provide extra padding that is really crucial in making sure that your machine doesn't get bumped around too much, especially if you're shipping a machine with a case. Egg cartons. Scissors and tape. Another thing that you're definitely going to need when you pack up a sewing machine to ship it somewhere. Bubble wrap. Let's talk about bubble wrap. This is the big bubble wrap. I use this a lot. The heavier duty is the best kind. So you're going to want big bubble wrap, but you're also going to want little bubble wrap. And I have 2 different colors here, the plain clear as well as this colored stuff. This isn't totally necessary, but if you're packing things separate with your machine, for example, this little top, it goes on the top of a featherweight. I have my customers take this off when they ship their machines to me because the little spool pin can get bent in shipping. So if we pack it separate, it's a good idea to wrap it in a color that's different so it isn't easily lost or thrown away. So if you have this little extra different color of bubble wrap, perfect. Packing paper. This is essential to safely pack your machine. We're going to pack this into the corners and all around the machine or the case that the sewing machine is actually packed inside to ensure that it doesn't shift around at all. If you pick up your box and you give it a shake when you're done packing it and you can hear things moving, you haven't done a very good job. This packing paper is what we will use, and I buy this at Walmart. I think I get like 250 sheets in a pack, and it's fairly affordable. If you're just packing one machine and that's the only time you're ever going to pack a machine, you can get away with going to a place like Hobby Lobby. This is actually just their wrapping paper. It's just plain brown, but it's a little bit heavier duty. A roll like this usually costs around $5 or $6, and you can see there's a lot of it. So this would be a good solution if you don't want to buy a whole bunch of paper like this. But we will be using paper. Plastic wrap. That's another thing I like to use when I pack my machines. Usually this is wrapped around the machine before this bubble wrap. There's a good reason for this. You want to protect your machine from the paint getting chipped at all, number 1. Number 2, I have found that bubble wrap like this pressed up against the paint of some machines, especially black sewing machines, I don't know if it's gassing off against the paint or what, but I have seen bubble wrap leave circles on the paint on the machines. So typically I wrap it in a saran wrap first so we don't get those little circle marks all over the paint on our machine. Something else you'll want, depending on the machine you're shipping, this is just a shop towel. This will work fine. Quilt batting would work well too. When we pack up a featherweight, for example, we're going to have a bed extension we fold up. It's going to be hitting against the nose of our sewing machine. And we want to protect it with bubble wrap. We're going to put a layer of bubble wrap in there, but then we're going to cover it with something soft like a paper towel or quilt batting. So again, we're not getting circles on the paint of the machine, if that makes sense. Totally optional, but I feel like it's just worth it. I always stick fragile stickers all over the outside of the boxes when I'm done closing them up. If you can get your hands on just a few, I buy the big rolls. These are essential, I feel. You can also write fragile everywhere, but I feel like this red color here really catches attention. to whoever's handling my box. So last thing we need to talk about is the box itself. You want a good heavy duty box. And I know that this looks a little bit big. The sewing machines that I'm packing are not this big. I could definitely fit them inside a box that's smaller. This box is 22 by 18 by 12. It works for pretty much any machine that I'm going to ship. Now, it's tempting to go small when you pack your sewing machine and get as little of a box as possible because it's going to save you on shipping. Not really, not in the long run. The reason why I choose to go with a box that's so much bigger than the machine is it allows me to fill it with padding. I want to protect the machine from the edges of this box, from the impact that the box is going to have during shipping. So to me, a bigger box is better. So I'm going to go ahead and tape up the bottom of this box and we're going to start packing our machines. Now let's talk about a few things that you want to do to the machine before you wrap it up. This is a 301. I'm going to make sure that the handle on the top is down. The presser foot, I'm going to put the presser foot down. That makes the lever in the back stick out less. Then I'm going to turn the hand wheel so that the thread take up is sticking out as little as possible. Right now it's up. I'm going to turn it so it's just barely sticking out of the front. If it has a bobbin winder that moves up and down, I'm going to make sure that it's not up, it's pressed down against the machine. The top of the machine where you control the pressure on the presser foot, I'm going to make sure that's tightened down fairly far so it's not sticking out. All those things make a difference, especially the bobbin winder. I cannot stress enough. Make sure if it's one that raises up and down, it's pressed down against the hand wheel or the body of the machine. Then it's safe to pack it up. So I'm going to start with this featherweight here. And I have the little top I was talking about. I took the top off, but I left the little screw for the top in the machine. No sense in having something so tiny be separate and get lost. I'm going to wrap this first in my green bubble wrap. That's so my customer knows it's something special and they don't toss it out. Now, I have seen people actually take a piece of styrofoam and punch a hole in it and stick it on the top where the pin is on the spool pin cover. That's a great idea. You still want to wrap it in bubble wrap. There, this is ready. Now, I'm actually going to put it inside the machine here and saran wrap this whole machine. Before I do that though, what I want to do is I want to protect the bed extension on this machine from this little part right here on the nose. When I fold this up, that naturally hits. I don't want that to bump up against it in shipping and chip the paint. So what I do, I take a piece of bubble wrap and a paper towel. First, I'm going to place the paper towel onto the bed extension like that. Now, this could also be quilt batting. That would work great, but that's not enough protection. So now I'm going to take that bubble wrap and put it over the paper towel. Now that will not chip. It's going to be fine. Now I'm ready to wrap the machine with plastic wrap. I take it out of the box because I just feel like it's easier to handle, but I'm just going to start by stretching out a big piece, placing the machine on top of it, making sure it's straight. The bubble wrap's always fun to deal with. And we're just going to start wrapping the machine. And I'll go a couple times this way, and then I'm going to go a couple times around it the other way. There we go. It is wrapped, and that little top cover in there, it's not going to hurt anything. It's not really going to shift around. It's ready for me to wrap in bubble wrap. I'm going to wrap the bubble wrap the same way I did the saran wrap. I'm just going to set the machine on it, and we're going to go a couple times around each way. And you don't need tons of tape, just enough to kind of keep it all together. This is ready to go inside the box. Now's where the egg cartons are going to come in handy. I'm going to put one in the bottom of the box, and notice I'm doing not this pointy side, but the round bubble side. I'm going to put one in the bottom, and then I'm going to place them all around the edges of the box. I'm still not ready to put the machine in here. I want to add more paper to the bottom so there's additional padding besides the egg carton. So I have a little cushion here. Now I can put the machine in. I feel a little bit of a wobble. I'm going to add more paper underneath. That feels a little bit better. Now I'm going to stuff all around the machine with paper, focusing on the corners and in between the egg cartons and the machine. Now, if you have something like a foot control or accessories that you want to add, you can work them in at this time, but you just want everything to be nice and snug. When I feel like I have enough padding all around, the last thing I want to do is make sure I can fit an egg carton on top if possible. And then make sure I can still close up this box. That's ready to tape up. But let's check one more thing before we tape up the box. Now that I have this machine safely packed in the box, I'm going to do one last little test before I tape it all up and cover it in fragile stickers. I'm going to give it a shake test, and all that means is I'm going to pick up this box, which is now slightly awkward, and I'm just going to shake it. I'm going to see if I can hear anything rattling around. If there's any shifting or clunking, there's not. I can tape this up and put my label on it and send it, and I feel very secure knowing I did my best. Now, insure your packages. I know that sometimes it's more expensive when we add insurance onto our packages, but truly, you can do everything possible to protect your machine, and something can happen to it. So decide, do you want to insure it just enough to maybe cover buying a new case if you were shipping it in a case and the case gets damaged? Do you want to just put enough coverage on there to maybe cover some parts if something like a bobbin winder broke off? I've had that happen before when customers sent me their machines. So you don't have to cover the whole value of the machine, but at least give yourself a little room there if something does happen in shipping. I hope that this helps some of you, especially customers who are going to be sending me their machines. I want to get them in one piece, and of course when I send them back to you, this is how they're coming back, and they're going to get there in one piece. You notice I didn't use any styrofoam packing peanuts. That's because A, they don't work, and B, if you've ever pulled anything out of a box that had a ton of peanuts in it, well, we all know what that's like. Cleaning that up, and they somehow have the static electricity, they stick to you, they stick to everything. Stay away from those. We have really good cheap options. That brown packing paper, primo. It was nice and sturdy, but still easy to wad up. So I hope you all learned something. Welcome to my basement. I think I want to go play darts now. I will see you guys again really soon. Bye.